Bo, 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 bo. Well, hello there, Jessica. It's me once again, Bing Crosby.
Hi, Bing.
I heard you're having a special Christmas in July special. I said the word special twice. How are you doing? You can't have a Christmas special without me, Bing Crosby.
Wow.
What? It's me, Bing Crosby. I don't lose my impressions the longer I delve into them. I'm Bing Crosby.
Silver bells, it's Christmas time in the city. Ring away, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day.
Ho, ho, ho! That's right! It's Christmas in July!
The burglars are right outside. We've set all the traps. Let this delicious microwave macaroni and cheese dinner bring nutrients to our bodies.
It's a breezy 85-degree day out, 29 degrees Celsius.
Golden sunshine, very still. David Lynch has these weather reports every morning where he gives you the weather in Los Angeles on his YouTube channel every morning.
I love it so much. This morning when I got up, I was like, oh, not going to check my phone, not going to check my watch. I have to go see what David Lynch tells me the weather is so I know how to dress appropriately.
But every morning he's like, golden sunshine.
Golden sunshine.
But then he'll say very still today. I'm like, what does very still mean? I mean, does that mean the wind? I don't understand what that means.
Today he was like, happy birthday, Ringo Starr. And he flashed a peace sign at the camera. It was the best thing ever. That gives away which day we're recording this episode.
Oh, I guess it does. The day it comes out, basically. So yes, we're having our special Christmas in July, talking about silver bells this week because it's hot. It's been a crazy year. Who wants Christmas right now? We do.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Hallmark has already got their Christmas in July started. Why can't we? I know our listener base has got to be the same people who watch Hallmark as much as my mom does. Come on, right? Right?
It turns out there was a home in my YouTube research, which I've had ready for like days, and Jessica was like, when are we recording? I didn't, unlike Jessica who does her research like last minute before we get in front of the microphone, it turns out there's a Hallmark movie called Silver Bells from 2016. Should we pause right now and go watch it?
No. I'm bitter because I did my research in advance this week, thank you very much, and someone was doing it as I was like, okay, you ready to record? And he was like, oh, I didn't actually do my research yet.
Well, no, it's like because it was Silver Bells, so we're doing Silver Bells, and I thought like, oh, well, this is like not on the Christmas CD. This is one of the iTunes exclusive originally iTunes exclusive bonus tracks that was recorded later because Dave is the drummer on the Christmas album, but these 3 extra bonus tracks were recorded with Ethan after Dave left, and they were released as iTunes exclusives, and now they're available on the Gotee Christmas comp. But I was like, well, this
song.
No, all 3.
Oh, all 3 are?
All 3 of the iTunes exclusives are on streaming.
Under the Gotee
Christmas compilation.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't find them as bonus tracks on any digital versions out there anymore. You don't find them on iTunes as bonus tracks to the Christmas CD anymore. But my point was, since this was like, this is part of that trilogy of later Christmas songs that aren't on the main Christmas CD, I was like, well, people don't probably know this song that well. Like, no, it turns out there's plenty of stuff online to this song, but I didn't realize there's a ton of drum covers. Everyone's like, I got a new set of drums for Hanukkah, and I'm ready to jam out and do a drum cover to Silver Bells by Relient K, what should be lesser known one of their Christmas songs, but apparently is not. So I took to the very last second to check YouTube, and I was like, oh, there's a lot of stuff on here. And we can get into it. So we do have voicemails from Daniel. You can see my socks. We have about 5 minutes of voicemails.
Oh, wow.
But we'll get to those next week.
Okay.
This has been a crazy week for us, so we just kind of want to get into the Christmas spirit.
That's right. So everybody curl up next to the fire, cozy down with your preferred warm beverage. I've got my Earl Grey tea with oat milk here. What do you have, Danny?
Whatever you made me.
Danny has a hot toddy.
Jessica made it while I was doing my YouTube research.
Tastes like Christmas.
Tastes like burning.
You have an adult Christmas beverage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this track, along with God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen and Oh Holy Night, was recorded between the Warp Tour and the Uncle Fest Tour. And in a news report from Jesus Freak Hideout, I have this quote from Thiessen. "We took a bit of a breather after Warp Tour, and now we're headed back to Nashville to track a couple of Christmas songs and rehearse for the upcoming Uncle Fest Tour," says Matt Thiessen, Relient K's lead singer, guitarist, pianist, who was featured on the cover of Alternative Press's August issue. "We're excited to hit the road and get back to some of our favorite clubs and theaters."
Right. I don't know if that's the same interview, but so we didn't say why we're really doing a Christmas song in July. We said this during the 4 Pods of Christmas, that there's too many Christmas songs in Relient K's discography for us to do them all only in the holiday season.
Right.
Because there's probably, in terms of how many songs there are right in Relient K's catalog, we've got about 3 years of podcasts, and they've got something like 14 or 15 Christmas songs. So we're like, no, we got to speed this up a little bit on the Christmas. So that's part of the reason we're doing this week. I remember last December, you discovered some article where they talked a little bit more about, and I didn't know, I meant to ask you to look for that article again, and I forgot until this moment. When you started reading that one, I started to think to myself, is that same article? Last year, you read an article during one of our Christmas episodes where Thiessen said maybe this is something we're going to keep doing, where we keep doing more Christmas songs every year and keep tacking them on to the end of the Christmas CD. And then maybe their idea was eventually we'd have like a double set Christmas CD, but they seem to just not follow through with that plan.
Yeah.
Because, as I mentioned, these 3 songs were digital exclusives sold through iTunes for this special edition of Let It Snow Baby Let It Reindeer, but then eventually all of the streaming sites and MP3 sites went back to the standard version, and these 3 tracks were put on the Gotee Records Christmas compilation. So it seems like they abandoned that concept of recording a couple more Christmas songs every year and expanding the existing Christmas CD.
Right.
I wonder why they didn't follow through on that. If only we had asked John Schneck when we had him on the show. That's a question. Write that one down.
So yeah, Silver Bells was posted on the group's MySpace account on November 7th, 2008. A reissue of the album was released on iTunes on November 18th, 2008. It included Relient K's rendition of Silver Bells, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, and Oh Holy Night, as well as a music video for the band's version of Sleigh Ride. The songs were eventually pulled from iTunes, but have since been added to Gotee's 2010 Christmas compilation CD, 'Tis the Season to Be Gotee. That is from WikiWand.
Of course, classic Relient K source of information, WikiWand. So, I love this song. I like this song.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers in there. And
not just Relient K's version, but the song in general.
Oh, yeah, the song in general is
because
great.
We talked about it with other Christmas songs in the past, but I don't enjoy a lot of Christmas music because some of it is too wistful and, to me, accidentally dark. Like, too much Christmasness. The metaphor I mentioned last time we did a Christmas podcast was people hear the Christmas music and they're supposed to think of, it's cold outside, but I'm bundled by the fire. But when I hear wistful, slightly depressing Christmas music, I don't concentrate on the fire in front of me. I feel about the cold at my back or the cold outside the window. Like, that seeps into my bones. So this is not one of those songs. This song is not too darkly nostalgic. It's not too darkly wistful. It's like just the right amount of timelessness mixed with some modern touches, because they're singing about the busy sidewalks and the side in the city, and they're specifically mentioning the city, all this stuff. So
this is one of the few Christmas songs that is set in a city versus like a countryside or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I always love this song because it makes, and it's got just a touch of capitalism, but not too much. You know what I mean? It's not a greedy, like the shoppers run home with their treasures, but they're not spending the whole song just talking about gifts and stuff. They're like, they've got gifts and they're excited to give these gifts to people. So it's got just the right touch of materialism, but not overdoing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you just like the song because they use it in Carol.
Oh yeah, of course.
For some reason, in the past couple years, anytime somebody mentions Silver Bells, all I can think of is Carol. I don't know why.
What scene is that? I know what scene I wish it was.
It's when Carol and Therese first go on their trip.
Okay.
On their
car
car
they
trip.
first leave on their...
Yeah, right before the gift giving.
You know, it'd be a great double feature.
What?
2 classic road movies. Carol and Sonic the Hedgehog.
One just stunning, beautiful cinematography shot on
And
16
Carol.
millimeter. And Carol, yeah.
That would be a great double feature. They both fall in love with each other. They spend a night in that hotel room.
That's right. Sonic,
Remember,
the story about Sonic falling in love with James Marsden. That's right.
Remember that scene where Carol is like, I had a chili dog at the bar.
Instead of poached eggs and liver or whatever it was. Something that sounds really gross and 50s-ish.
That's a great idea for a double feature. I love it.
Seriously though, beautiful cinematography.
Sonic
Just like I love those long shots, you know, where you just really get into Sonic's head and you can just feel what he's thinking. Mm-hmm. It's good stuff. So yeah, like I was saying, there's a lot of layers in the Relient K version of this song. They've got that sort of like effect thing on the beginning of it, and then Thiessen's vocals in this are a lot more melodic than his typical style at that time. I noticed.
Right.
Did you feel that way?
Well, this would be pre Forget Not Slow Down, right? Like this is probably the last thing they did before, the last thing they tracked before Forget Not Slow Down. So it kind of makes sense, yeah, that maybe because he got a little bit more melodic on Forget Not Slow Down. So this might be the interesting little hidden history of his vocal range getting better. But I did not notice it. And now I have to go back and listen to it next Christmas when I give you my heart. So we're talking about last Christmas.
Relient K also added in some lyrics here.
Oh, did they?
They did, yeah. Christmas Day is almost here. I take the time to breathe the air. The bells ring out to us about how love was born this day. Which is not part of the original song.
Oh, they just made it 10% more Christian.
Yes.
That's nice. That's good. I feel like that's totally fine. Like, yeah, that makes total sense. You know what I mean? Like they're putting they're putting the Christ back in Christmas.
That they are.
I just wasn't aware of that, so I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to develop an opinion on
That's
it. And
right.
I'm like, I guess I don't need an opinion.
You did not do any research this week. Did you listen to the song?
I did listen to the song.
Okay. The Odyssey Online placed the song at number 4 on their ultimate pop/punk/rock Christmas playlist in 2015.
Nice.
And then before we get into the history of the original Silver Bells song, I have an HM Magazine article here about the Gotee releasing the Christmas album today.
Releasing it when?
Today.
Today?
Yeah. November 25th, 2018. What year is this? What day is this?
But I'm just confused by the way in which you said an article about them releasing the Christmas CD today. I was like, they released it today?
Okay. The title of this is Gotee releases Christmas album today from October 5th.
Okay, that makes total sense.
October 5th, 2010.
The way you read it, put it in this whole, is like a man-eating monster. Is like, is it a man eating a monster? Or is it a monster that eats man? You know, it's like one of those grammar things. I got confused.
Sure. Gotee rings in the holiday with "'Tis the Season to Be Gotee" Christmas compilation, releasing today as a digital and CBA exclusive. Each song on this project has never been available to retail and features Gotee Records favorites Relient K, House of Heroes, Aisha Woods, Stephanie Smith, and Abandoned Kansas performing a variety of favorites. At the low suggested retail price of $7.99, "'Tis the Season to Be Gotee" promises to become an instant seasonal favorite. Our favorite on the project is Stephanie Smith's newly recorded version of Relient K's song, "I Celebrate the Day," which she started performing last year on Toby Mac's Winter Wonderslam tour. This song, produced by Mark Lee Townsend, who also produced the original Relient K version, will be the debut single from the project. Gotee has long been known for their past Christmas projects, including Christmas releases by artists like Relient K, House of Heroes, and Abandoned Kansas. However, "'Tis the Season to Be Gotee" is the first holiday compilation that the label has created.
The main thing I learned out of that is that Winter Wonderslam was a Toby Mac tour. I wasn't aware of that. For some reason, I always thought, because I would only hear about Winter Wonderslam in bits and pieces on like YouTube and bootleg recordings that you could download. I always thought Winter Wonderslam was like a Christian festival somewhere.
Well, I guess it is. It just happens to be Toby Mac's, I guess. Okay. I didn't know. Is Toby Mac one word?
That's a good question. I guess it's like one of those...
Here it's one word.
I guess it's like one of those Blink 182 things. Like lowercase b hyphen.
Oh.
Or MXPX, like people will spell...
Right, the capital M, the lowercase X, and the...
Well, it should be capital M, lowercase x, capital P, lowercase x.
Yeah.
But there's all these different ways people will type it.
Gotcha.
Or Dropkick Murphy is supposed to be spelled with a Y, but sometimes people will spell it with an IE. Anyway, I believe Toby Mac is one word, but I'm not really sure. Anyway... we did mention that Stephanie Smith "I Celebrate the Day" cover when we talked about "I Celebrate the Day" as well.
Right.
And I also want to say about this cover, not the cover that we're talking about this week, but the cover of this Christmas album. Mm-hmm. I had seen this. Spotify recently took away compilations from artist pages, which really annoys me.
Oh.
Like now, if you want to find a compilation, I guess you just have to know it exists and search for it by name. Uh-huh. So if you're on Relient K's page and you go to the bottom, it doesn't list every compilation.
That's okay. For some reason, Apple Music sometimes thinks that certain albums are compilations or are singles and EPs. So like they put, I think it's 5 Score, they put in like some other random category. It's not in with Relient K's main albums. It's very confusing.
Well, I used to see this album all the time because I would look through compilations of Relient K.
Right.
And I kind of falsely assumed, this, because especially this would have been pre-podcast. I probably assumed, this just must have some songs from the Christmas album in there. I didn't know about the 3 bonus tracks that were made for iTunes. So I didn't know that these were 3 other Christmas songs that aren't on Let It Snow Baby, Let It Reindeer. So I was familiar with this album and I've seen the artwork, but what used to really confuse me is what Santa was doing on the cover. Have you looked closely at the artwork? Because I
haven't looked super closely at it.
Well, then I'm not going to mention. What does it look like he's doing to you?
I know. He's got cookies in one hand and I don't know, he's like holding cards in the other hand.
That's the part I figure out what he's doing.
Oh, he's on the phone.
That's what I thought as well, but that's not what he's doing.
He's shaving a goatee. The album was too small. I had to click into it and start playing one of the songs so that I could see it bigger.
Right.
Oh, interesting.
It took I went on the exact same journey. I was like, he's on the phone.
That's a phone cord. That is a telephone, old school phone cord. That is not like how razors are hooked up.
I don't know. I think some razors might have power cords that are bunched like that.
That little coil thing?
Yeah, so that so that they're not just laying all around the place. Yeah, I think like old school electric razors might have had cables like that.
Maybe. What? Ew, why is he shaving while he eats the cookies?
And that was my next question. So there he is using an electric shaver to give himself a goatee. And
this
he's
Santa
doing
is
it.
creepy looking too.
He is a little creepy. Jessica, you are going
Sorry.
on the exact same journey I went on a couple days ago when I was looking at this artwork. We're matched 1 for 1.
I had never really listened to this album. I've never actually listened to this album. I've never looked at this album until this week when we were doing this, because I think I had purchased those iTunes exclusive versions of the song long ago. So I have them in my iTunes library from then, because they can't get rid of that because I already purchased them at one point.
Right.
So even though they got rid of them, you can no longer get them that way. I still have them in my library.
You're grandfathered in.
I'm grandfathered in
Right.
with the Relient K content.
Right.
So I've never actually looked at this until I was just in iTunes, and instead of clicking into my music, I was just like searching through Apple Music and brought this up. So I didn't really examine this cover. Yeah, creepy.
Why is but that's the
This should be the cover of the creepy EP.
the creepy Santa EP. He kind of looks like Ed Asner. Ed Asner is shaving over a glass of milk. He's like, yum, hairy milk. I love it. It's a classic 40s treat. It's like an egg cream where they put raw eggs in whatever that drink was. It's called an egg cream, but I don't know what else went in it.
Yeah, his eyebrows are also edging on Martin Scorsese and really bothering me. All right, I'm done looking at this. It's creeping me out.
I know you probably won't know what this is. Maybe you'd recognize it if I showed you one of his comic strips, but this artwork reminds me of the Perry Bible Fellowship online comic strip.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There was like an online comic strip that was popular in the mid 2000s, and I just realized like it looks like it's drawn by that guy. He could emulate a lot of different people's styles. Anyway, that's a very random reference. So about this song, yeah, you were saying that the Relient K version has kind of a lot going on. There is like a lot of production stuff. There's that, like, I mean, first of all, it's like the overall vibe of the song. It reminds me of the Weezer Christmas album.
Okay. I know what you mean, actually. Yeah.
So it's like this, I was almost thought to myself, just listening to Relient K's version, I'm like, did Weezer also do this song? And I looked into it, and not a lot of other, like, bands in, like, the punk, rock, emo, ska world have done this song.
Well, Danny, after you hear that Twisted Sister version,
well,
how could anyone else come close?
We can talk about that in a second. But I was just going to say, listening to this, I thought about the Weezer version, and the beginning, it's coming through that tinny thing.
Right.
And then there's a lot of electronic drum beat. And at first I'm like, oh, is this what this version is like? But then it kicks into like the regular sort of pop rock thing. And it's almost like when that intro part goes into the regular part, it's almost like Thiessen interrupts himself. You notice that? Like he's in the middle of singing a measure of the intro of the song, and then the normal voice Thiessen comes in and is like, busy sidewalks. It's like, I imagine two versions of Matt Thiessen, like, and one of them is like, oh, he cut me off. I think that's funny. Jessica does not think it's funny.
It's hot out today.
It's not that hot. I'm just stupid. So out of the 3 songs that are on this compilation that were on iTunes originally, this is sort of the most upbeat one. Yeah. Which also makes sense because of all the songs, it's the one that, like, I think is inherently from its original creation sort of more upbeat for a Christmas song. Less wintry, right. less chilly.
Yeah, you gave me the choice between this song and what was the other one? I think it was "God Rest You Merry Gentlemen," and I was like, Silver Bells immediately.
Well,
but listen to the "God Rest You Merry Gentlemen" version that Relient K does. It's upbeat, it's peppy. I'm like, Silver Bells.
And as you said, we get to talk about the Twisted Sister version.
That's right.
Which is garbage. It's so bad. Because, I mean, it's just Twisted Sister. It's like from 2010 or something. And while I was looking at videos on YouTube, the video is abysmal.
The
video is awful. I mean, the song itself is just...
It's the Twisted Sister cover.
On par, slightly subpar, Twisted Sister in the 2000s. The video had like 1.5 million views. The music video, like almost all of their more recent music videos, and I've seen a couple of them, is just a spin off of the "What are you gonna do with your life" formula of their classic "We're Not Gonna Take It" video, right. Where there's one square person in the family, and the other person wants to rock or something, and then Twisted Sister shows up in their house and twists all over the place or whatever they do. But this one, it's like a married, instead of it being like a kid and a parent, this one it's a uptight wife and her
Sean Astin looking husband.
Yeah. And he's the one who's like, he puts on the TV to put on she's like, put on the Yule log, and she's like, I want everything perfect. And then
because they're having house guests over,
and he turns on the TV, and it's just instantly Twisted Sister playing Silver Bells, and she's like, oh, and she's pushing the buttons and it won't turn off. She unplugs the TV, it won't turn off. She gets up and goes to the door.
The keying is so bad.
Well, no, not even before that. Before we get to that, first she goes to the door, and all of these rock and roll guests start showing up at her front door, like a guy with a snake and some strippers in like Santa Claus costumes and like a biker gang, and like all of these like crazy rock and roll people show up for her party. It's like 4 minutes of just her at the door letting in more and more people. We're like, we get it. Crazy people. Then finally this extended sequence ends. And by the way, this music video, I'm not joking, is over 7 minutes long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It takes 2 minutes for them to get to the song, and then they're doing the song for 5 minutes. That's why you can allow for like 3-4 minutes of just her standing at the door letting in crazy guests. Then she looks down at the baby, and the baby's head has been replaced with the members of the, like one at a time, the members of the band.
Oh, I wasn't even talking about that keying. I'm talking about the keying on the television. It looks like a film school project. It looks like this is like your After Effects project for learning After Effects.
It looks like a David Dakota
real bad.
movie.
Yeah.
It looks really bad.
It's so bad.
I mean, recent David Dakota movies.
Right. Not Full Moon Classic.
No. It's an awful music video.
Yeah.
It's so bad. And like I said, it's just Twisted Sister, just 2000s Twisted Sister. Oh well, who cares? Whatever. Move on. Next question.
So the history of Silver Bells. The song was composed by Jay Livingston and Ray Evans and released October 1950. It was first sung by William Frawley. However, it was then sung in its entirety and in the most generally known version by Bob Hope and Marilyn Maxwell in the film The Lemon Drop Kid, which was shot in July-August of 1950. I almost said 2005, I don't know why. And released in March of 1951. The first recorded version of the song was by Bing Crosby and Carol Richards with John Scott Trotter and his orchestra in September of 1950 and released in October of that year. The song originally started out as Tinkle Bells. The writers were unaware of the double meaning until Jay Livingston told his wife, and his wife told him to change it.
Well, first of all, I didn't know that tinkle goes back that far.
It does, apparently.
But I guess it wasn't as ubiquitous enough as meaning urine, and if not everyone knew about it.
Yeah, I mean, but it was like, it must have been like a mom thing, you know? Mom's like, oh, you have to go tinkle or whatever to the kids, and Dad doesn't know because he's off at work bringing home the bacon.
Right. Because when he was a kid, his dad was like, go pee in the woods. Go use the outhouse. It's 1875 or whatever.
As far as the inspiration behind the song, several periodicals and interviews cite the writer Jay Livingston stating that the song's inspiration came from the bells used by sidewalk Santa Clauses and Salvation Army solicitors on New York City street corners. However, in an interview with NPR, co-writer Ray Evans said that the song was inspired by a bell that sat on an office desk shared by Livingston and himself. And then, have you ever wondered about the history of bells at Christmas? April has. She's chiming in over there. She's like, hey, I want to know.
I don't know. I just assumed it had to do with like how Santa has a sleigh. Is that not it?
That's a good point. So I found this from hollydappy.com. Bells are rung to announce an important life event, either happy or sad. They are rung at weddings and funerals, but at Christmas time, they are rung to announce the birth of Jesus. The ringing of bells goes back to pagan rituals. They rang bells to keep evil spirits away, and bells were a part of many of their winter celebrations, as the Christian holiday of Christmas was placed on a date used for the celebration of other pagan deities. To encourage conversion to Christianity, bells were incorporated into the Christian holiday.
All right. Did you know actually that the term "saved by the bell" refers to Christ's salvation? That when we are forgiven for our sins, we have been saved by the bell being the proclamation that Christ has been born.
All I know is that I'm at the corner just in time to see the bus fly by.
That's all right, because we're saved by the bell, by which I mean Jesus Christ.
Right on. And in the shortest episode of Sadie Hawkins' Pod ever.
Is it? Oh,
what do you have, Dan?
Oh. Well, it is Christmas time. We want to go spend. We don't want everyone sitting here listening to another 2-hour episode. So we want you to go off and spend Christmas with your families. But I do have some YouTube stuff. I really thought, because this was like a deeper cut, even in how popular their Christmas songs are, I thought this is a deeper cut of the Christmas album. No, there's tons of stuff.
Not just this version, but Silver Bells in general should really be like a bigger Christmas song.
Yeah, because like I said, not a lot of bands that I'm familiar with have covered it. Like Michael Bublé covered it.
Yeah.
And he covered it with Naturally Seven, who you always refer to when you say how much you hate, that you like them, but how much you hate a cappella music. You're like, well,
True.
Naturally Seven's good.
True. Did you know that it didn't even chart in the UK until 2009 when, I don't know, I guess some popular UK artist covered it?
Yeah, of course I knew that. Why are you asking me? No, I didn't know that. I didn't even know they had Christmas in the UK until 2009. So there is our videos.
There is our videos.
There is our videos.
We made a video?
Specifically to Relient K. No, we didn't make a video. But I thought, like, how could, there won't be covers because it's a famous Christmas song. But like I said, there aren't, this feels like any Christmas song. It's super ubiquitous, but there actually aren't as many artists as I thought would have covered this song.
I'm shaking my head
Just
at Danny
Twisted
from
Sister.
behind my ski boot mug.
Your Matt Ski Boot mug?
My Matt Ski Boot mug. I love this mug so much.
It's a ski boot.
We got it at Big Bear.
It's a boot shaped mug where it's really hard to clean inside where
Yep.
the toes would go. So here's a cover. This is this is the one on the list that I haven't listened to or watched at all. 8 years ago, Sean Toten Recording uploaded Relient K Silver Bells, Sean Toten. We wish you a Toten Christmas album was made for my family as a Christmas gift. Relient K's version of Silver Bells with vocals by Hannah and Sean Toten. Music produced and engineered by Sean Toten Recording. Video created by Hannah Toten and filmed in Davenport, Iowa. So I haven't heard this at all, but it sounds like it's specifically the only specific cover of Relient K's version of the song. So let's listen to this.
I'm ready.
Silver bells, it's Christmas time in the city. Ring-a-ling, hear them ring. Soon it will be Christmas Day.
Sidewalks, busy sidewalks, dressed in holiday style.
Okay, so I see how it is specifically a cover of Relient K's version,
Yeah.
because that whole intro part, the instrumentation is obviously totally different. But instead of one Matt interrupting the other,
Right.
it's Hannah Toten interrupting Sean
Sean
Toten. So interesting, and it's like it's a
It's nice.
fully shot
Yeah.
video where they're walking around Davenport, Iowa at Christmas time, and she's looking at the tree.
It's cute.
In the air there's a feeling of Christmas. Children laughing, people passing, meeting smile after smile.
held up like a tambourine the first time she said silver bells.
Yeah, she held it up like it was a threat to the camera. She held up a tambourine. She's like, look out, I got this thing.
That's very pretty.
That's cool, yeah.
Do you not have any live versions of the song?
No, I didn't find any live versions of it.
I would have thought that since they recorded it between tours that they would have busted it out on one of the tours.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't find it. Like, very little came up. I mean, enough came up when you type in Relient K Silver Bells, but nothing, like, official other than the 2 versions of the official upload of the song. This is unusual. This doesn't happen every day. Sure, we get guitar covers all the time, but I don't remember when I've seen an acoustic guitar cover. Like, you always get people playing along to the song in their room on an electric guitar, and they call it a guitar cover. This time, it's a guy on an acoustic guitar playing along. So this is what that sounds like. This is uploaded by Horman9, Hormann 9, 11 years ago. Uploaded Silver Bells by Brandon. I love that he got an AOL sound on his computer right when I started. Yeah, and I skipped to like 20 seconds in because I knew it took him a second to get started. But yeah, that was an AOL like instant messenger sound right away. He should have said, "Hey everybody, BRB, I'm gonna go record a guitar cover for Relient K."
Was AIM still a thing in?
Oh yeah, this is 11 years ago.
This? Like, yeah,
this is 11 years. AIM ended like 2-3 years ago.
Oh,
maybe even a year ago. It ended very recently. I remember it was like a big deal. Like a lot of people were like, AIM was still around, but then like there was this big thing where everyone was like, what were your screen names? What was your sign out quote? What was, everyone was commiserating or eulogizing the end of AIM, even people who hadn't used it in years.
Interesting. I never had one, but I had like friends who did.
My name was, this is awful. My name was Echoes PX.
Wow.
Which doesn't make any sense, but I had a really hard time generating a name for myself when I signed up for AIM. And AIM had this tool where you could type in 3 things you liked, and they would basically just shift around.
Interesting. That's awesome.
The syllables and make you up a name. So
I love that. I hope that a generator like that still exists out there because I just want to mess with it.
So now this is the embarrassing part.
I already know what one of the things is going to be.
Well, the PX part is MXPX.
Right.
But I don't remember the 3. I only remember 2 of the things because only 2 of them happened to generate in this one. But I typed in 3 things. One of them, AIM, was like, I don't need that one. One was MXPX. And the other was the word echoes because I had written a story in creative writing called Echoes. It's a very embarrassing sounding title. Definitely not telling anyone about what the story is because it's just one of those. It's just like a dumb story. You know what I mean?
Listen, we've talked about my Star Wars fanfic on here. This is a safe space, Danny.
No.
His face. His face. He looks so coy and like shy.
I don't want to talk about. It's not that bad. I was watching a lot of anime and stuff at the time, so perhaps it was anime inspired.
Oh, okay.
But nobody's going to know specifically what happens in that story.
Okay, and what was the third thing?
I don't remember what the third thing was because it didn't pull from that. So my AIM name was Echoes PX. And then I was like...
It's a cool name.
Yeah. And then I was like, well, I mean, over time, I didn't care about that story I wrote, but I was like, the name still... I had the name for years. I'm like, I still care about my
MXPX?
MXPX, and it just sounds like a cool name. And I was like, at one point, I was like... I think there was a Pink Floyd album called Echoes, but I didn't really like Pink Floyd, but I was like, I could pretend. I'm telling everyone the truth now, but I was like, if I'm embarrassed about that story from high school, middle school, or whatever, then I could just say, like, oh, it's a Pink Floyd MXPX mashup.
Nice.
Anyway. So let's see what else we got.
Thank you for that Christmas gift, Dan.
Oh, you're welcome. So here's
speaking of Christmas gifts.
Oh, yeah. This was Christmas 2003. Jessica went through all our photos. She was looking for the photos from
Danny had mentioned that he had a bunch of photos of like from different Relient K shows.
And this is from the Fillmore at Five Iron Frenzy's final show. I have also, Jessica also found the picture I took with Reese that night, which I'll definitely upload as well, but I could have sworn, I don't think I have any pictures with Thiessen or Brian from that night. I thought I might have, but when I think about the photos that exist, all I can picture is this one with Dave and possibly another one with Hoops.
I haven't found
but
that
Jessica
one yet,
found the one
but
where
yeah.
it's me and my friend Johnny with Dave Douglas.
I love this lady behind you, like looking in the camera, smiling coyly.
Yeah, she kind of looks like, what's her name from that, Elia Shawkat from Search Party and Arrested
She was a
Development.
mom in the 90s, maybe.
I guess.
Yeah, so good stuff.
Aaliyah, maybe? I don't know.
I like your Big D hoodie with your pins. You've got like a jack-o'-lantern maybe. You've got a little Irish
Well, let me
flag.
look.
I can see fishbone.
Yeah, there's a fishbone pin. There's an Irish flag pin. I don't think that's a jack-o'-lantern.
Oh.
Yeah. What's, I can't tell what this shirt is that Dave Douglas is wearing.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that out too. And then Johnny's just wearing
It
a
looks like a
Relient K hoodie.
lineup.
It does.
Looks like a last known photo.
Dave is the only one smiling.
including the people in the background.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good time.
Well, Merry Christmas.
We'll go ahead and upload that. I was also looking for, I know I don't have any photographs of me with Relient K, but I was looking for, I know a picture exists somewhere of my friend Abby and I at our first ever Relient K show. And I can't remember if it was that night or the next day, but we're both sitting in my car taking a selfie in our shirts that we had gotten that night. I had the like reddish maroon colored one with the piano on it, and she had I think she had the green penguin one. But unfortunately I couldn't find that, so.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. So anyway, that was my AIM name. What else have we got? So here's someone doing a vocal cover of this song. So just singing over it, playing in the background. Or is this the dance one? There's also one where someone dances in their room. This is Big Sister 2001, 9 years ago, uploaded Silver Bells by Relient K cover. Okay, so this would be the cover. She's got a sweet Justin Bieber poster in the background.
What's this other one? It looks like one of the guys from Twilight.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Is this the girl from the Skittles and Combos? She sounds like Skittles and Combos
sounds
girl.
exactly like Skittles and Combos girl, but it doesn't look like her unless she grew her hair longer and... Let's take a look. No, I don't think so. It does sound just like the same girl. No, this is a different girl. Because this girl's got glasses and dark hair. The like... I ate Skittles and Combos and took a crap and pulled my back. That girl,
She was like blonde,
she was
I think,
blonde,
yeah.
and did not have glasses. So yeah, I wish this girl's got a lot of vocal covers, and it looks like what she does is she puts an earbud in, and then she just. I love the framing in her older videos. It's just like basically the top of her head, her nose to her top of her head, and a ton of headroom.
Wow. Sorry, so please continue to play the cover.
So we don't hear the background. We don't hear the music. She just listens to it on her headphone while she sings into her hairbrush.
Right on.
Soon it will be Christmas Day, amongst busy sidewalks, just in holiday style. In the air there's a feeling of Christmas. And laughing, people passing, like smile after smile.
Jessica's investigating all the stuff in her room.
That is totally a picture of the like pack leader guy from Jacob's pack from Twilight.
So that's
It's like from New Moon or something, I think.
the tertiary Twilight characters calendar for 2010. What are your favorite side Twilight characters? Let's put them in a monthly calendar for 2010. So that was great. Thank you, Big Sister 2001. And then I can turn off screen record because the rest of these are all fan videos. Those are the only like kind of cover type things. You saw a little of this, but this is this amazing animation.
That just reminds me of... we actually braved the mall the other day and just thinking about stuff girls have in their rooms. Yeah. we went to Hollister because I needed some stuff. And don't judge me for still shopping at Hollister. Uh-huh. When I got the bag, it just said Hollister on it. And I looked at it and I was like, Danny, you know what? Back in my day, we had half-naked men's torsos on our bags. And that was our porn and we liked it.
Right.
And it just made me think about that because I totally
you can
had...
still look up those bags on the internet.
I know, I totally had the Christmas Hollister torso bag, like, on the back of my bedroom door. I was wearing, like, boxers. I totally had that up on the back of my bedroom door so that my parents wouldn't see it. But it just made me think of that because she's got the shirtless guy from Twilight in the background of her video. Just made me think about that. Sorry.
So I don't know what these characters are, but they're some sort of anime like furry type characters. What? They're like, look, they're like anthropomorphic, like wolves and sheep and stuff.
They are.
And they're having a little Christmas party in a 24-second hand-drawn, digitally hand-drawn music video
What
that
the
this person
Flup
put together.
is the name of the
channel's
channel.
called What the Flup, F-L-U-P. It doesn't describe. It says, on Christmas Eve, Merry Christmas, or Christmas Eve in my case, I hope everyone has a happy holidays this year. I recently got Flash, and this is my first Flash animation,
wow.
which looks really good for the first Flash animation.
Yeah.
And then when it says next, breaks my brain. It's so much easier than MS Paint. I can do stuff on here in minutes compared to the hours taking MS Paint. Whoa. Can you imagine somebody drawing an animated video in MS Paint? So they must like have to basically draw each cell.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And then like put them together in some sort of video editing software.
Oh my gosh.
So here...
Wow.
So also a whole bunch of cameos. Characters belong to their rightful owners. So I don't know if any of these are original characters or what shows or games or fiction these characters come from. But here's the video. And then... So it's a bunch of like furry type characters having a Christmas party. And it looks amazing.
It really does. There's a rabbit in a...
It goes by so quickly.
It's so fast, I can't even describe what's happening.
There was like a rabbit and some other sort of thing, and they were under the mistletoe together. Hold on. It's like two types of rabbits. Like a purple rabbit and a gray rabbit with green hair.
And they kiss, and that's
they're
cute.
hugging.
And then
they're hugging, and then they look up at the mistletoe and are like, hey.
Oh, sorry. They cut away before anything happens.
And then they go to some sort of boardroom where there's another bunny, but it's like a living doll bunny. But he's also a living doll because he has button eyes, and there's like a beaver walking past his office.
And he's got stacks of paper by his desk, and they plop a Santa hat on him to make him more festive.
Cheer up, Scrooge. We're a bunch of characters that belong to our rightful owners.
They're now zooming out of a city landscape that looks really good, in this cute cartoon drawing.
So I can imagine if you've done animation in MS Paint your whole life, that Flash must be really easy.
Wow.
And then you can do your first Flash video and make it look good. I mean, I don't know what to say about it, but here's another one of those house light shows that's programmed to somebody's house.
Nice. Good stuff.
Good stuff. This one is uploaded by... Light to Texture, like architecture, but light instead of arc. Light to Texture. Did I miss anything? Vocal cover, acoustic cover, family. Oh, I missed this one. A family did a little FMV like a little Christmas card lip sync to send out to people in 2018, very recently. They only uploaded it 1 year ago.
Oh, wow. They've got the... Oh, my gosh. So
And
they
then-
had the Yule log going with the kids singing, and now
Yeah.
we've cut to...
Very simple shot of 2 little girls standing in front of a Yule log singing. But then we cut to this like post-effect thing where it's like a stock animation of a city skyline behind them, and then the
a line
adult
drawing.
like a line drawing, but the adults are like dancing in stop motion where like they've been taken
Wow.
one frame at a time or something. This is super creative. Oh, I guess that's actually a wall in their house.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, or no, they painted that.
Yeah.
And now we cut outside with regular video as they're just walking down the street. And this guy is lip syncing.
I was going to say Dad's lip syncing, but I know there's a couple different guys in here, so yeah. Big family. This is cute.
They were playing the Rockstar video game drums, or maybe they were electric drums.
Everybody kind of did their own scene. That's cute.
Oh man, this looks like they were dancing in their living room under the big tree. It looks like Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas. I'm the only one in this house who could stomach to watch that garbage. It's so good and how awful it is.
Oh, maybe.
It's
Maybe now that I've subjected myself to like
worst movies.
I can sit through it. But at the time, I remember just it was
It's not.
painful.
It's not even. Yeah, because I don't know where I got it. I didn't pay for it, and I don't think it was. Maybe it was on Amazon Prime, but I watched it because I'm like, I hear a lot about this movie. I got to see it. I know it's going to be bad. It's not a movie, and it's not a documentary.
Yeah.
It's basically like an hour and a half video essay. It's like a nerd writer video stretched out to an hour and a half. And it's just about how it's just him apologizing and saying, hey, Christians, you should love all the materialism and all the Santa. And it's just like bizarre movie. It's because and then and it ends with this big rap musical number under the Christmas tree with the whole party that was there listening to this pontificating by Kirk Cameron. I love bad movies, and that's a great one in terms of how bad it is. And it's not even a movie. I'm trying to remember. There's a similar movie that's not Christian or Christmas related. Oh, it's like it's this Nick Nolte documentary. No Exit. Nick Nolte No Exit 2008. It's not an easy film to find. I had to find it through torrent because it's like never been officially released, or maybe I paid on Amazon Prime or something for it. But it is just Nick Nolte like narrating his own life story.
Wow.
But in this really bizarre way of where he like kind of like goes in and out of narrative structure and like talks to himself and
Sounds
interviews
amazing.
himself. And it's like so pontificating upon like himself. It's so awesomely bad.
It sounds wonderful.
It's just little things in the choices he makes for himself, talking to himself, are so outstanding. I really recommend, if you can't take Saving Christmas by Kirk Cameron, treat yourself to Nick Nolte No Exit. It's basically the same movie, but it's about one guy talking about what a great actor he is and what a life he's had. It's an amazing movie. Anyway. So what else do we have? I think we got 2 more things. Yep. So we have a Rune. Are you familiar with the video game RuneScape?
That's definitely something that I've gotten like YouTube ads for, I believe.
Well, it is one of those like
Is it like Bejeweled?
No, it's like an online sort of RPG. Like, what do you call those things? Sorry,
Like World of Warcraft?
Yeah, I think it's like It's like that, but I'm getting a little confused because I put the wrong link in. Hold on. Okay. All right, hold on. Here it is. Okay, sorry, I put the wrong link in the notes. It was the same video we'd already watched, but here's the actual video. So this is called Christmas Collage RSMV for RuneScape music video, uploaded by Sonics. The word Sonic, but with 2 S's at the beginning.
Ooh, sounds like your kind of thing.
I know. I was just thinking, I want to go to a Sonic fast food drive-in. I bet they're doing real well right now because you can't go in most Sonics, right? I just want some tater tots and like a slushie or something. You could make tater tots at home. Why drive? I mean, we'd have to drive like half an hour, 40 minutes to find one. So yeah, this is a whole like collage of some footage of their RuneScape game. So you'll see specifically what the game looks like, set to a couple of the Relient K Christmas songs. And they've added the text above their characters.
Oh, wow.
So it's sort of like a low... I don't really know a lot about this game, but yeah, it's like a massively multiplayer...
Interesting.
It's probably one of those like free-to-play games. I don't know a lot about it, except that famously there was this guy many years ago who gave like a death threat to another player over this game and then like went to prison for years.
Oh, wow.
And that guy was a big Blink-182 fan.
Oh, wow.
And Blink-185 like interviewed him and stuff.
Geez.
But he didn't actually have the capacity. Oh, you know what it was? He joked that he would cause like a school bombing. But he didn't own any bombs, so he was joking to insult somebody, and they took it as a real terrorist threat. So he's called the RuneScape terrorist.
Wow.
I don't think he's the one that made this FMV.
But you never know.
You never know. So the little characters are running around in the RuneScape world. It's almost like more like Minecraft, but not as blocky.
Right.
But I don't think maybe you struck things. I don't know. I don't really care. You make runes and you escape them. Clearly, that's the 2 things you do in the game.
Okay. Good to know.
And it's just a goofy little video where these 2 elf Santas are walking around singing the songs in the video.
Right on.
And finally, last one we have. It's time to get your dance on. Because Christmas is a time for joy. And Soccer Girl Ang uploaded this 8 years ago, and she's gonna she's just gonna shake it out for Christmas time and celebrate the birth of our Lord.
And I miss you.
Who did she miss?
I missed it. I don't know. I missed it.
Coming soon. This is my video because Christmas is coming soon. And I miss you.
She didn't say. I guess this is a gift for someone. So here she goes. Here goes Soccer Girl Ang.
Or maybe Soccer Girl Ange?
Oh, yeah, maybe. But it's... Can you describe these dance moves?
Arms?
It's not quite the on fleek thing. And now she's headbanging.
But with her arms as well. Like her arms and her head are banging in a very wide manner. Oh, now she's just doing circles.
And now she's doing like X signs in the air with her arms. She looks like...
It looks like she's maybe in her dorm room and she misses someone.
She's dancing, get it out of frame. She's like... all arms. This dance is all arms.
She's like, someone please save us college kids.
It's almost like one of those. She keeps doing this thing that's like that fleek thing where you put your arms, shoot them out to the side.
Both are out.
Yeah, and she's not covering her eyes all the way like she's supposed to. And she's just moving around so much. And she pulled her hair clip out, and now she's whipping her hair back and forth. This is almost like... You have
to post this because...
I will post this.
Yeah.
This is almost like when Bart and Lisa are like, I'm going to walk out of your room, and as I do, I'm going to kick the air like this. And if you get kicked, it's your fault. And Lisa's like, well, I'm going to start punching like this. And
it is exactly like that, but sort of in place.
And now she's doing like hip-hop moves. This is amazing.
It's almost like a tiny breaststroke forward.
What is she doing?
Now it's a lot with the elbows. She's ring-a-linging her hair back and forth. She whips her head back and forth.
She's gonna break something. She hit the camera with a pillow. She hit the camera with a pillow.
Uh-oh, and if she touches that thermostat, what are you gonna do, Dan?
Whatever. She's not going to get her Christmas gifts. She'll get her Christmas gifts. I just need to threaten her, so she'll be good.
She went out a little too hard, let out a couple coughs at the end there, and now she's good. Wow.
So that's Christmas. That's Silver Bells by Relient K.
Good stuff.
Yep. Please go watch it. I'll post that video, but everyone's got to see it. So what are you hoping for Christmas, Jessica?
Oh, wow. You know,
Anything special I can get you?
an end to the coronavirus.
What's that, silver dioxide or whatever? That they say treats COVID. Can I get you a big order of that? It's silver, like Silver Bells. See, it all ties together. Soon it'll be Christmas time. Stop looking at me like that. The lining is Silver Bells. There's a Relient K reference. We just wasted 1 hour of your life. Ho, ho, ho. Hey, everyone. This is Danny. At the end of that podcast, when I'm saying she's doing a fleek move, obviously I meant she was doing a dab dance move. I absolutely wasn't mixing up dabbing with on fleek, because what I was doing was testing all of you to make sure that you're hip and with it, and with it, and with it, and with it, and with it.